In the year 4386, in the city of Washio, during the era of advanced technology, the world was completely peaceful until a giant frog, known as the King of Beasts, appeared. The beast starts destroying the city, leaving everything in ruins, and everyone is fleeing in panic. Meanwhile, our protagonist Wang, a little boy, enters a store to buy some crispy noodles. At the same time, a team of magical heroes arrives to confront the giant frog. They attack it, but their efforts are completely ineffective. Eventually, the frog counterattacks, and the heroes can't handle it. At that moment, the magician Gua notices Wang walking home, quickly grabs him, and takes him to a safe place to protect him from the beast. Gua then returns to fight the beast. Later, we learn that Gua defeated the frog alone and was honored with a statue at an elite magic academy, becoming a legendary figure known across generations as the hero who saved humanity. The scene shifts to the first day of the new school year. All students gather at the magic academy, and Wang is among them. Two bullies stop Wang, and one says, "You're from the 5th category, right? The weak kid? Don't worry, we're your senior classmates, and we'll protect you at school, but of course, there's a price for that," demanding the money he has. At that moment, a girl appears, and we learn she's very famous. She's the daughter of the owner of the country's biggest company, Flowerfort Incorporated, and her name is Sun. The bullies yell at her, saying, "Stay out of this." But as soon as she approaches them, they realize she's stronger than them and quickly run away, saying, "You're a girl, and we don't hit girls." Sun approaches Wang kindly, extends her hand to greet him, and says, "Don't worry, I'll protect you at school." However, Wang misunderstands the situation, hands her his money, and walks away, leaving Sun extremely embarrassed and shocked by what just happened. At that moment, a projection of Guo appears before the students. They are awestruck as he tells them he's here on behalf of the Magic Council to welcome them to the school, wishing them success and explaining the test that will determine their magical abilities, deciding whether they join the elite class or regular classes. The test begins, and the first name appears on the screen, a strange-looking boy named Ko. The students remark that he looks like a cartoonist, and it turns out he's the one who created this story. Ko enters the dark room, where water covers the floor. He becomes nervous, and suddenly, a projection of the frog beast appears. Terrified, Ko falls to the ground. The supervisor reassures him, saying, "It's just a projection of the frog. You need to attack it to measure your magical strength." Ko attacks the projection but is too weak, getting thrown out of the arena. He's placed in the regular classes, and the test continues, with many students ending up in regular classes. Next, a student named Chen, eager to fight the frog, enters. He attacks with great strength and qualifies for the elite class. The test continues, but only a few students make it to the elite class. Then Sun's name appears on the screen, and all the students cheer for her. She enters, attacks the projection with immense power, sets a new record, and joins the elite class. As she exits to applause, Wang enters, and the students say, "He's the weakest in the school. The test doesn't matter for him since he's obviously in a regular class." As Wang enters the room, the projection of the frog changes. The frog recognizes him and becomes terrified. The scene flashes back to when Guo fought the frog. We see the frog strike Guo, sending him flying and nearly killing him. But at the last moment, Wang appears, kicks the frog, and finishes it off because it annoyed him and interrupted his noodle meal. Returning to the present, the frog is visibly scared of Wang, saying, "If you hit me again, you'll destroy me for good. Please, stay away." We learn that Wang is extremely powerful but pretends to be weak because he dislikes attention, especially since his strength is unparalleled. Just as Wang is about to hit the frog, his power overloads, destroying the projection. The screens burn out, leaving the students unable to see anything. When the screens are restored, the students see that Wang has destroyed the frog completely, breaking a world record and joining the elite class. The scene shifts to the elite classroom, where the teacher, Ban, introduces herself and begins the first lesson on summoning. She demonstrates the spell by summoning a giant fish. The other students try but summon silly things instead. Later, the students gather around Sun, who has summoned a tame skeletal dog, impressing everyone. At that moment, the teacher asks Wang, "Aren't you going to try? Do you need me to explain the spell again?" Wang tries the spell, shocking everyone by summoning the frog beast. Even the frog is stunned, saying, "What do you want from me? Why are you haunting me?" The students panic and run away, but the teacher reassures them, saying, "I'll handle this." She transforms the frog into a green dog. The students gather around the dog, admiring it, while Wang quietly leaves the classroom and walks away. The scene takes us back in time to the moment of Wang's birth. The father is anxiously waiting outside the delivery room when the nurse comes out, looking shocked and unable to speak. The father gets even more worried, thinking something has happened to the baby, and starts crying. The nurse finally tells him in complete shock that the baby started walking on his own. At that moment, the father looks up and finds Wang standing in front of him, causing the father to faint in disbelief. The next morning, the parents stand beside Wang. The father holds a toy sword, a rare and expensive collector's edition, and the mother explains that she spent 3 days searching online to find it. While Wang seems uninterested, the parents are overly excited. Wang, with his mind-reading ability, discovers the real reason behind their efforts. The father always wanted the sword for himself and finally found an excuse to buy it, while the mother opted for a cheap imitation to save money, believing they should prioritize other expenses. The father hands Wang the sword, but Wang envisions the trouble it could cause if it breaks due to his immense magical strength. He quickly devises a solution and pretends to act like a typical child. This distracts his parents, and they forget about the sword altogether. Over time, Wang discovers his extraordinary magical powers but decides to keep them hidden, even from his parents. When Wang turns 6, the story shifts to the moment he defeated the frog monster. His parents, watching from home, can't believe their eyes. Later, the father takes Wang to create a seal to suppress his powers, ensuring no one discovers them. The father successfully crafts the seal, and the mother gives Wang a golden energy pill, pretending it's a nutritional supplement. In reality, it's designed to weaken his spiritual energy. Wang has known this for years and never actually takes the pill. The parents remain worried about Wang, recalling incidents from his past caused by his extraordinary powers. For instance, during his birthday, he nearly set the house on fire when blowing out candles. At 10 years old, while playing with other children, his overwhelming strength accidentally sent them flying. The mother just wishes for Wang to live a normal life. The next day, Wang goes to school, where elections for class president are underway. Qin nominates himself with Guo's support, while Sun also runs for president, backed by all the girls in the school. Wang finds the noisy atmosphere overwhelming and decides to look for a quieter place. Spotting crispy noodles in the school store, he rushes to buy them, only to find that Sun's bodyguard has bought all the noodles and is giving them away for free in exchange for votes. The students feel cheated and walk away, prompting Qin to confront Sun, accusing her of bribery. She defends herself, claiming she's merely helping the students. Suddenly, Wang calls out to Sun and offers to vote for her in exchange for the noodles. He casts his vote, takes the noodles, and leaves, inspiring other students to do the same. Sun activates her charm spell on the students, successfully influencing them. Later, she notices Wang is gone and asks her bodyguard, who tells her he left a golden orb of energy for her. Back in class, the teacher explains the charm spell, but the students remain under Sun's influence, except Wang, who is completely unaffected. Feeling uneasy, Sun glances at Wang, who tells her not to take the energy pill the bodyguard gave her. Misunderstanding his intentions, she eats the pill, causing her magical power to weaken drastically and ending her charm spell on the students. The teacher asks Sun to explain the charm spell, but she feels dizzy and stumbles over a jacket on the floor. As she's about to fall, Wang catches her just in time. The teacher then calls Wang to demonstrate the spell. Wang leaves Sun, flawlessly performs the charm spell, and returns to his seat. The lesson ends, and the teacher announces that Qin won the elections, leaving Qin and Guo overjoyed. Later, in his office, the teacher reports everything about Wang to someone on the phone, expressing his amazement at Wang's intelligence and strength. The person on the other end is revealed to be Guo. Meanwhile, Sun, now under Wang's subtle spell, searches for him online, feeling strangely drawn to him. Frustrated and confused, she wonders why she keeps thinking about him so much. The next day, all the students are excited, bringing their magical furnaces to the class for the lesson on making energy orbs. At this moment, Qin enters with a giant bronze furnace, claiming it belonged to his grandfather, who used it to create 9th-level energy orbs. Shortly after, Sun arrives at the school, and Qin approaches to greet her, but she ignores him and calls out to Wang instead, embarrassing Qin greatly. Wang realizes that his magic is affecting Sun, so he decides to approach her and dispels the spell. At that moment, Sun becomes extremely flustered and falls to the ground after Wang walks away. The students head to the classroom, where Teacher Pan begins explaining how to create energy orbs. The students eagerly start working, and Guo uses a new high-tech device with amazing features for making energy orbs, revealing himself to be a spiritual entity. Meanwhile, Qin's bronze furnace explodes due to excessive power usage, and he starts crying, lamenting that his father will kill him if he finds out the furnace is destroyed. The rest of the students continue their work, and Teacher Pan informs them that the orbs will take 7 hours in the furnace to finish. Everyone leaves the classroom, leaving their equipment behind. Suddenly, the frog dog sneaks into the classroom, tries to consume Guo's spiritual device, the furnace, and succeeds. Wang follows the creature, finding the furnace in its mouth. The frog dog quickly escapes, but Wang eventually catches it and retrieves the furnace. At the same time, Qin is running around the schoolyard, reminiscing about when he begged his father for the furnace. His father finally agreed but warned Qin of the consequences if he didn't come in first place. Back to Wang, who is washing the furnace when Guo catches him and angrily demands an explanation. Wang calmly says, "I can explain everything right now." Wang explains the entire situation to Guo, but Guo doesn't believe him. Instead, Guo pulls out his weapon, retrieves the furnace, and sprays Wang with a strange substance. At that moment, Qin appears behind Wang, gets caught in the spray, and collapses. His body begins to change color, causing Guo to panic. Guo and Wang quickly carry Qin and try to resolve the situation with the energy orbs while tending to Qin's condition. Guo makes several attempts but fails each time. Eventually, he lets Wang try, saying, "I'll handle anyone who comes in." Guo goes outside to delay the teacher and the students, but Teacher Pan enters anyway. She inspects Guo's furnace and finds a perfect energy orb inside. Guo is stunned, realizing Wang must have helped him by placing a flawless orb in his furnace. Teacher Pan then moves on to Wang's furnace and finds a defective orb inside. Guo feels deeply grateful to Wang for sacrificing himself to help him. Meanwhile, Wang hides Qin inside the bronze furnace. In reality, it was Guo's orb that became perfect after Wang cleaned the furnace, while Wang's orb was defective from the start. Later, Guo and Wang take Qin to the garden, where Qin finally wakes up. Guo says, "You're awake at last," and Qin glances at his furnace. Guo reassures him, "We fixed your furnace." Qin feels overjoyed, thanks them, and apologizes to Wang before bursting into tears. The next day at school, Sun goes to Wang, and as they talk, a group of assassins targets Sun, with one of them aiming at her using a sniper rifle. During their conversation, Sun asks Wang to be her friend and go out together in the evening. We learn that Sun is under the threat of being killed by a large criminal organization. Just as the sniper is about to shoot Sun, Wang stares at him intensely, shocking and scaring the sniper. At that moment, the teacher enters the classroom, and all the students return to their seats. The teacher calls Wang to come to his office, and Wang follows him, using the opportunity to escape from Sun. Meanwhile, Sun is no longer in the sniper's line of sight. The operation is called off, and the operation leader tells the sniper there's someone very powerful in the school. At the same time, Sun follows Wang and the teacher. News of Wang and Sun's friendship spreads quickly. When Wang enters the teacher's office, Guo is already there. The teacher introduces Guo to Wang and tells him Guo has a question to ask. Guo warmly greets Wang, and the teacher leaves them alone. As soon as the teacher exits, Guo says to Wang, "Aren't you the boy who defeated the giant frog 10 years ago? Back then, everyone thought I was the one who defeated the monster." Suddenly, Guo kneels before Wang, saying, "My lord, I've been searching for you for years. The moment I saw your incredible power, I was determined to find you and become your loyal servant." This revelation annoys Wang, who decides to use a memory-erasing trick on Guo. He leaves the room afterward. When the teacher enters Guo's room, he finds Guo nervous. Meanwhile, Wang sits aside, pulling out crispy noodles to eat. Suddenly, the dog approaches him, informing him there are assassins in the school. The next morning, Wang wakes up, brushes his teeth, and looks out the window, shocked to see Sun waiting outside with her fleet of cars and a large number of guards. Wang goes downstairs for breakfast with his family, pondering what to do about Sunday. He's surprised that his family already knows about Sun and even encourages him to be her friend. Suddenly, Wang's family gets him dressed and sends him outside to Sunday. Wang gets into the car with her, and they set off on their journey. Journalists are everywhere, and even the assassins are monitoring the scene. Their leader instructs them to follow Sun until they find the right moment to kill her. Back in the car, Sun tells Wang, "Today, I'm taking you to a very luxurious place called Heavenly Paradise. It's a real estate project by my family that combines economy and redevelopment." Wang is surprised to find the place completely empty. Sun explains, "That's right. My grandfather built this place especially for me, and I told him I wanted to spend the day here with you. So, he cleared the place for us today. They arrive and are welcomed by the guards. Sun is very excited. Meanwhile, the assassins infiltrate the area through the tourist entrance, taking out the guards. The leader warns her team not to return if they fail to kill Sun this time. At that moment, Sun and Wang are exploring the amazing sight, guided by a tour guide explaining the artifact in front of them. The assassin sees the moment, and one of them shoots at Sunday. Wang notices, catches the bullet with his mouth, and throws it back at the assassin, taking him out. He then uses a memory erasing trick on Sun and the guide, allowing the tour to continue. Even the assassin thinks there's an issue with his gun, unaware that Wang stopped him. Sun and Wang keep enjoying the place. Each time the assassins get close, Wang eliminates them without Sun noticing anything. Later, they ride the Ferris wheel, enjoying the view from above. The assassins monitor them from another cart. This time, Gua notices and realizes Sun is in danger. The assassins break into Sun and Wang's cart, holding them at gunpoint. Sun says to them, "You're from the Dark Syndicate, aren't you?" The assassin replies, "Impressive, you're very smart." As he's about to reveal their origins, the leader interrupts, scolding him, "Idiot, she's trying to get information from you." Sun stands before them and says, "I'm the one you want to kill. Let Wang go already." At that moment, the magical team arrives to rescue Sun and Wang. Sun cries, and Wang becomes furious at the assassins. They grow terrified of him as he punches one, throwing him off the cart. The second one begs, "Please don't kill me," but Wang lifts him too, throws him off, and strikes him with a fiery eagle, turning him into fireworks that light up the sky. Sun is in disbelief at what she sees. This time, Wang tells her, "My power is our little secret. A promise between us, right?" Sun smiles and replies, "Of course." They continue enjoying the fireworks together. At that moment, the gang leader was sitting with her members, saying that the mission failed once again and that Sun was still alive. She added that their client was unhappy with the results. The assassin who had failed to kill Sun explained that research showed a powerful individual constantly protecting her. The leader became furious, unleashed her magical energy, and eliminated him on the spot. The leader addressed her gang members, "Since the beginning of the Dark Gang, our mission success rate has been 100%. We were always at the top. But this is the first time we've been humiliated. We must kill her immediately. Do you understand?" The next day, the Dark Gang continued monitoring the school. Sun arrived at school, and the gang noticed that Wang was also with her. Wang met up with his friends, and Gua asked, "Did we do something wrong?" She replied, "Why are you saying that?" He pointed out, "Because her guards are surrounding us from every direction." Sun was confused, and the teacher came over, explaining that she was still in danger and would remain under heavy protection. Sun told the teacher, "Yesterday, Wang and I were enjoying ourselves at the heavenly paradise, and we didn't see any assassins or anything suspicious." At that point, Gua interjected, saying, "That's because I found the assassins first." The story then shifted to a flashback. Sun and Wang were heading home when Gua, along with Sun's guards and sorcerers, intercepted them. Sun bid farewell to Wang and left with her guards. Back in the present, Gua explained, "I secretly eliminated the assassins targeting Sunday. The problem is, this has only angered the gang further, and they've sent word that they'll kill her no matter what." Gua reassured everyone, "Don't worry. I've arranged the strongest security possible." Security tightened around the school, with guards everywhere. Meanwhile, the assassins infiltrated the school through underground tunnels. One assassin, Shu of the Hammer unit in the Dark Gang, began taking out the guards one by one. However, Gua detected the infiltration. The teacher tried to calm the students, thinking they were panicking, but they were entirely unbothered. Another assassin, Ping, also from the Hammer unit, sneaked into the upper floors and released a strange, toxic gas. He eliminated all the guards in seconds. Shu shouted at Ping, "This mission was supposed to be secret. Now everyone knows we're here." Ping replied, "I'll eliminate all witnesses. That way, no one will know we were ever here." Shu retorted, "And how am I supposed to do that? All the guards are chasing me." At that moment, the chubby teacher appeared and attacked Ping, but Ping dodged. Meanwhile, another assassin, Jian, the leader of the Hammer unit, decided to attack the room where Sun was using his massive hammer. Around this time, Wang received a notification on his phone that he had won a free box of crispy noodles, which would be delivered by drone any minute. As the students watched the battle between Ping and the chubby teacher, Ping launched a powerful attack. However, the teacher easily blocked it, breaking Ping's weapon. The students were amazed by the teacher's strength. At that moment, Wang got a notification to receive his package. Meanwhile, Ping used the toxic gas to create a diversion. The teacher shouted, "Cowards like you always rely on cheap tricks like poison." Ping fled, saying, "Goodbye, old man. I've completed my mission." Suddenly, Wang opened the door, accidentally knocking Ping unconscious. Wang apologized, saying, "Sorry, I'm in a hurry." He then went to collect his crispy noodles. Sun tried to stop him, but Guo assured her that Wang would be fine. Meanwhile, the chubby teacher apprehended Ping. Jian realized that Ping had been defeated and asked Shu about the situation. Shu replied confidently, saying he had eliminated all the guards below. Just then, the frog dog appeared in front of Shu. Thinking it was a harmless pet, Shu tried to play with it, but the creature absorbed all his spiritual energy, turning him into an old man. The frog dog reverted to its frog form and finished Shu off. Jian grew anxious, realizing he was the last one left. "I have to finish this mission quickly," he said. At that moment, Wang arrived on the rooftop. Jian, thinking Wang was just another student, decided he wasn't a threat. He assumed Wang was only there to collect his package. Wang picked up the large box of noodles and said, "No, I meant you. I'm sorry to tell you this, but your assassination attempt has failed." Jian became enraged and attacked Wang with all his might, using his giant hammer. But the hammer shattered on impact, leaving Jian bleeding and collapsing to the ground. The gang leader received news that the entire hammer unit had been defeated. Wang carried Jian off, and Guo intercepted them, saying, "Sir, you defeated them effortlessly as usual." Wang cast the memory-erasing spell on Guo, replying, "No, you were the one who defeated them." They handed the assassins over to the authorities. Wang pretended to be injured and acted as though he had barely survived. The news spread, hailing Guo as the hero who saved the school from the notorious assassins. In the following day, Wang pretends to be sick, and Sun sets up a healing pavilion for him to recover quickly. Later, Wang's mom enters and tells him it's lunchtime, so he gets up to eat. She says, "How long are you planning to pretend you're sick? It's been 10 days now, and you're still faking it and skipping school." Just then, Wang's friends come to visit him, so he goes back to pretending to be sick. His friends ask, "You're still lying in bed?" Then Guo introduces his parrot, which happens to be his pet. Suddenly, Sun remembers she left the frog dog at the door downstairs. They bring it to Wang, and Wang's mom thanks his friends for taking care of him at school. Sun offers an array of powerful elixirs produced by her family's companies, along with nutritional pills and stimulating injections, all for Wang to recover quickly. Everyone is shocked by the sheer quantity of items Sun brought with her. Sun becomes extremely worried about Wang and asks, "Do you feel better now? Last time, you were on the ground, injured." He reassures her, saying, "Don't worry, I feel much better now." Then Chen says, "Sun was so worried about you she called for a helicopter from her family to rush you to the hospital." We find out that while Wang was pretending to be injured, he saw how worried Sun was and how she cried for him. Afterward, Chen gives Wang a bracelet, saying the teacher told him to give it for the midterm test. Sun becomes furious, claiming these tests drain Wang's spiritual energy. They then decide to give Wang the injection to help him recover instantly. Frightened, Wang quickly grabs the bracelet and says, "I'm feeling much better these days." "I was about to tell you that anyway." Chen opens the bracelet message and measures Wang's spiritual energy. It shows a value of 600. At that moment, a massive group of students tries the bracelet to measure their spiritual powers. Meanwhile, at another school, a group of students is also testing their powers during an important gathering. One of them is incredibly powerful, ranking first among the top 10 students in the country regarding spiritual energy value. The student's name is Tang. Returning to the friends, they're testing too. Guo's power is quite weak at 175. Then Sun tries and achieves astonishing results with a score of 3,952, ranking her second. Finally, it's Wang's turn. His power is enormous, leaving everyone amazed. He decides to move the sphere elsewhere to avoid destroying the house. The system shows his power as undefined due to its immense scale, leaving everyone wondering where Wang's sphere went. In reality, it's a giant orb hovering over the earth like a sun. Eventually, it's revealed that Wang has claimed first place, with an unmeasurable score due to its magnitude. Afterward, the friends bid farewell to Wang and leave. Later that night, Wang and Guo attempt to hack the system to alter their rankings. Meanwhile, Yang and Bai are also hacking the system to see if everything checks out and if Wang is genuinely strong. Unfortunately, none of them succeed in breaking through the system's high-security encryption. Wang, however, tries and writes 8 stars, successfully entering the system. Bai realizes someone else is hacking alongside her. Gua then adjusts his own score. Yang asks Bai, "Who's this hacker?" She replies, "Some fool. If he keeps meddling with the system like this, the alarms will go off soon." Yang says, "If they catch us doing this, we'll get expelled from school." In the end, Gua accidentally triggers the alarm. Both Gua and Bai exit the system quickly, managing to escape before they're caught. Bai tells the students they might meet Sun and Wang next month in the Spiritual Swords tournament. Tang confidently replies, "We will meet them for sure, and I will crush them without a doubt." The results of the Cultivator's Power exam are announced, and the teacher tells Teacher Pan that Wang is ranked first. Teacher Pan is astonished and asks if there's a mistake in the system. The teacher replies, "You've taught the elite class. Tell me, what do you think about this?" She thinks for a moment and says, "Wang's level is somewhat different from his peers, and he's always quiet. How could he rank first globally?" The teacher responds, "This time, we have 2 students ranked first globally. But there's an issue this year. Our Faction 60 will face Faction 59. Teacher Pan is shocked and asks, "Why are we starting off against the strongest school in the first round?" The teacher explains, "It's because Wang and Sun have raised our ranking this year." Teacher Pan replies, "We've faced Faction 59 about 24 times. We lost 23 and tied once." The teacher agrees, saying, "True, and that draw was when Mr. Gua, our school's genius, was still a student." Gua then chimes in, "I have a feeling this year's competition will be very exciting. We might see unexpected results." The overweight teacher adds, "We need to decide who will participate in the competition." Teacher Pan replies, "I don't know how you all can stay so calm." Meanwhile, the students of Faction 59 are training in a multi-environment combat field. A reporter interviews Tang and asks, "What preparations have you made for the spiritual sword competition?" Tang replies, "We're fully prepared. Our students have trained extremely hard for a month to achieve the best results." He then delivers an impressive speech that grabs the attention of the viewers, even the reporter. The reporter asks, "What message would you like to send to your opponents, Faction 60? Tang says, "I challenge the princess to the swords competition. I hope she shows us the strength of her family." The reporter then asks, "And what would you say to the global number 1, Wang?" Tang becomes furious. The reporter clarifies, "It's likely a system glitch. I was just wondering if you wanted to say anything." Tang responds, "I wish him luck with his training." Meanwhile, the teacher and Mr. Gua finalize the team that will compete in the tournament. Teacher Mao asks, "Are you sure about this? All the competitors are first-level internationals." "Yes, Sun is top tier, but the others." Gua interrupts her, saying, "Trust me, you trained them well." He tricks her into agreeing, but she points out they're still missing a 5th member. The teacher assures her, "Don't worry, Mr. Gua and I discussed this." He then introduces the 5th member, the frog dog. They let the frog dog participate in the power exam by giving it the bracelet. It starts the test while Gua cheers it on, saying, "If you score 5,000, I'll unlock your cage this time." The dog gets excited and scores 5,000 points, ranking second after Wang. Later, some students from Tang's class learn about someone surpassing Tang in spiritual power, a spiritual beast, the frog dog. Tang becomes even angrier. Meanwhile, Gua discusses everything with the teachers, and they finalize their plans. At the end of the school day, Sun bids farewell to her friends and leaves, while the others head home. The overweight teacher calls the 4 students and the frog dog, congratulating them on being chosen for the upcoming competition. The students celebrate their selection and begin showcasing their spiritual swords to one another. Meanwhile, the Faction 59 principal summons Tang and asks, "Are you ready for the competition?" Tang replies, "Yes, I've also taken all the students' swords to examine them thoroughly." The principal says, "All right, but there are only 4 participants. What about the 5th? Tang explains, "That's because the 5th person is someone extraordinary." The principal is stunned and asks, "Are you seriously taking this risk? Aren't you worried about the consequences of using that man in the competition?" Tang responds, "We won't lose this year." He's clearly upset. The principal agrees reluctantly, and Tang adds, "I will never let Faction 60 win the competition." We then discover that the person Tang wants to use is Yang, a notorious troublemaker who abuses his power to harm others. At this moment, the news announces that the 7 magical forces have finally captured the Shadow Gang after discovering their main hideout for the first time. Later, Guo appears, surrounded by reporters seeking a comment. He tells them, "I've encountered this shadow group twice in my life, always foiling their plans. But this time is exceptional." He addresses the leader of the organization, saying he's looking forward to meeting her again. The leader hears his words, becomes furious, and destroys the screen. Meanwhile, Wang is watching the news at home with his family. Wang suddenly asks, "Where is my sword?" His father is surprised and asks, "What sword?" Then, Wang goes to the storage room, searching through a box. At that moment, a small boy emerges from the box, and Wang quickly pushes him back inside. He checks his phone and finds a message from his teacher informing him they'll head to school 59 tomorrow. At that moment, the power control card on Wang's back malfunctions. The next day, Wang shows his friends his sword, which turns out to be an ordinary small wooden one. His friends are shocked, but the frog dog senses immense power emanating from the sword, as usual, with Wang staying silent. The teachers arrive and inform the students, the competition will last 5 days, so we'll spend a few nights here. Are you ready? The overweight teacher asks Wang, is this really the sword you'll compete with? He's puzzled since Wang hasn't prepared anything for the competition, intending to feign illness and not participate. The students board the bus to the competition. During the ride, a member of Gua's magical team informs him that they've captured the Shadow Gang's leader. He rushes to see her, asking if they're sure it's her. Upon reaching the cell, he confirms it is her and approaches, saying, "Finally, we meet." But it turns out to be a trap, a puppet bomb that detonates, destroying the area. The leader observes from afar and says, "What do you think of my gift, Teacher Gua?" The leader monitors the bus heading to the tournament, revealing her plan. Even capturing the main hideout was a trap to deliver the bomb puppet. Her real mission is to eliminate Miss Sun, which she intends to execute personally. At that moment, the boy inside the box, Wang's sword, wakes up and tries to get out, but Wang repeatedly pushes him back. Frustrated, Wang scolds him, saying, "Didn't we agree yesterday? You're not supposed to appear at all. I'll give you crispy noodles at the end of the day." The team reaches school 59, where the students and principal await to welcome them. It's revealed that Teacher Pan and Principal Shi were once close friends and roommates in Faction 59 but are now rivals. Principal Shi constantly teases Teacher Pan, and their exchanges feel like World War III. Meanwhile, Wang prepares to fake a stomachache to withdraw from the competition. At the same time, Principal Shi sets a powerful Gua on Wang, who fakes an injury. His team and teachers are immediately concerned. From a distance, the leader watches them. At that moment, a malfunction in Wang's control card releases immense energy, shocking everyone. Wang scolds his sword spirit, saying, "Why didn't you tell me earlier that there was an issue with my talisman?" The sword spirit replies, "I tried multiple times on the bus, but you kept stopping me." Wang's power becomes unstable, and without the pill that suppresses it, his health will deteriorate rapidly. Principal Shi sarcastically says, "This boy is very talented at acting." Sun angrily retorts, "His condition is critical because of you. Are you aware of the situation you've caused?" Principal Shi is surprised, claiming she did nothing to warrant such accusations. She turns to Tang, asking, "Did you do something?" Tang looks up and replies, "Perhaps the dangerous individual is behind this." Though he's not responsible, he continues observing them from afar. Meanwhile, Wang is faking it and seizing the opportunity. At that moment, the leader receives a report that her plan to eliminate Guo failed, as he managed to thwart it at the last second due to his quick reaction. She decides to withdraw. The medical team from School 59 arrives to check on Wang, who is taken for examination. Thus, Wang's plan succeeds up to this point. The nurses of Faction 59 enter the clinic, and Sun follows them, but Tang stops her. Tang says, "Sun, do you remember me? I'm Tang. We were in school together. Now, I'm the head of the student union for Faction 59. If you don't mind." Sun interrupts him angrily, "Get out of my way, now." She's about to hit him, but Bai stops her. Tang tells her that Bai is the secretary of the student union at school. Chen tries to help Sun, but the other students from Faction 59 stop him, saying, "Are you trying to start a fight already?" Sun replies to Yang, "You know why I joined Faction 60? Because Faction 59 is full of scum like you." Yang says, "I know why you're not interested in me. It's because Wang is here. But don't worry about him, he's safe in Faction 59. I guarantee you he's safe." Before Yang can finish, Wang suddenly catches fire. At that moment, Principal Shi arrives and quickly heals him, taking Wang to the medical room. Yang mockingly says, "What just happened? Did he set himself on fire or what?" Sun draws her sword, ready to attack Yang, and he's terrified of her. But the fat teacher stops her quickly, saying, "Calm down. Use your sword in the competition only." Teacher Ban tells Principal Shi, "You'd better control your students." Yang apologizes to Principal Shi, saying, "This is all my fault." After that, Principal Shi tells everyone, "Come with me to the gym so we can discuss the competition." Meanwhile, it's revealed that the dangerous student was the one who set Wang on fire. Wang is taken to the medical room, where the nurse asks what happened to him. They tell her, he was cursed with fire. At this point, Wang is still wrapped in the bandage Principal Shi used on him. He explores the school and calls his father, telling him the talisman is broken and that he'll wait outside the school for a new one. His father quickly grabs his flying sword and rushes to Wang. Meanwhile, everyone heads to the gym, amazed by its size and how impressive it is. Students from Faction 59 mock them. Principal Shi explains the competition rules to the students. It's a 5-on-5 match in 5 different environments. Whoever places their spiritual sword in the stone pillar first earns a point. Controlling all 5 pillars results in 100% completion, winning the match. Meanwhile, Wang continues exploring the school. His sword spirit asks him, "Are you lost?" Wang replies, "Yeah, seems like it. But I can't use my spiritual energy, or I might destroy something." The sword tells him it senses an exit nearby, and Wang indeed finds it. Yang, at this moment, says Faction 60 is missing the minimum number of members, so they're technically disqualified. Sun replies, "Aren't you the one who injured Wang?" And Gua adds, "Don't you know how to count? Look at your own team, you're only 4, too." Yang responds, "The 5th member has been here all along, as a magical water attack targets Faction 60, but they dodge it quickly." The dangerous student appears, moving with great speed, and offers Sun a flower, which she rejects, saying, "I don't even know you. Why would I take it?" He says, "You don't need to know me. No one knows me, but if you take this flower, I'll help you take down Yang and his team. What do you say?" Principal Shi gets angry at him and says, "Are you betraying us?" He replies, "I don't care. The power difference between the teams is huge, so this will balance their strength with ours." At that moment, Chen attacks the dangerous student, telling him, "Get your hands off Sun, now." The dangerous student launches a deadly attack, sending Chen flying and beating him down until he smashes him into the ground. Everyone is shocked by his strength, but Chen continues to resist and gets back on his feet. The dangerous student becomes even more furious and attacks Chen again, intending to finish him off. But Wang appears and saves Chen just in time. We learn that the world is still in danger because if Wang's talisman explodes, his energy will be unleashed, destroying everything. At this moment, Wang's father calls, telling him he's outside and Wang needs to come to him. Wang replies, "I'm busy right now, I can't come," and hangs up. The dangerous student gets angry at Wang and tries to attack him, but Wang dodges and continues walking as if nothing happened. Sun checks on him, relieved, and Wang gives her a flower. Wang's sword is furious at the dangerous student, telling Wang, "Finish off that idiot, master." But Wang replies, "Shut up and stay put." After that, Principal Shi tells the students, "Now that everyone's here, please head to the preparation room." Meanwhile, the leader of the Dark Gang successfully infiltrates Faction 59 school, watching everyone unnoticed, disguised as a student. At this point, Mr. Gua discovers the leader's plan and rushes to Faction 59 school. Back to the students, they head to the preparation room, but Wang doesn't join them, saying he wants to buy some crispy potato-flavored noodles. The leader of the Dark Gang sees this as her chance, but the dangerous student appears behind her, catching her and saying, "Stop pretending, you're not from Faction 59. He tries to befriend her like an idiot, insulting her by calling her a middle-aged woman, which enrages her, and she beats him up badly. Meanwhile, Wang returns with his noodles and finds the leader has tied up the dangerous student and hung him up. Then the leader takes the evil boy and Wang, both tied up, and throws them onto the roof because they uncovered her plan. It turns out she has an old man helping her at the school, and she tells him to keep a close eye on them. The old man replies, "Those two are still at the foundational stage, they can't do much." The evil boy tries to free himself at that moment, struggling and in great pain from the magical ropes. But Wang seems unaffected, as if nothing is happening. The leader says, Wang looks special because Sun was so concerned about him at the school gate, and she steps on him, kicking him forcefully. Meanwhile, Wang's magical sword is sleeping, unaware of what's happening. When it wakes up, it is confused and asks Wang, "Why are you tied up like that, sir?" At the same time, the other boy is in immense pain as the old man starts absorbing his spiritual energy and eventually finishes him off. At that moment, Wang's control talisman is completely destroyed, and the sword tells Wang, "From now on, you'll have to rely on yourself." The leader strikes Wang and tells him, "You're from the 5th category, so you'll always be useless your whole life. Suddenly, Wang is about to lose control because of his anger. His sword tries to calm him down, but it's no use. Eventually, it succeeds by telling him there's a 50% discount on crispy potato-flavored noodles. At this point, the old man takes a strand of the evil boy's hair so the leader can use it to disguise herself and carry out her plan to eliminate Sun. Meanwhile, all the students and teachers are seated in the meeting room, and the evil boy bursts in, saying there's a big problem which we know is the leader in disguise. He tells them Wang has been kidnapped. But the old man is still watching them on the roof and says, as long as you remain calm, the leader will release you right after she kills Miss Sunday. The evil boy then says, I've always wanted to join the dark gang. If you untie me, I'll tell you everything I know. The old man replies, you're very smart. My leader will be very pleased with you. But unfortunately, the old man adds, the leader is the only one who can handle the eternal ropes, so for now, just stay calm until she arrives. The boy says, I heard the dark gang uses numbers to rank its members. You seem impressive. What's your number? The old man laughs and says, I don't have a number. I'm the leader's driver. The boy laughs and says, it seems like the dark gang is short on players if someone like you is handling such an important mission. This enrages the old man, and he strikes a fire arrow down from the sky with immense power, causing the boy to be terrified. The sword says to Wang, that driver has great spiritual power, but he just chooses not to reveal it. Meanwhile, the leader is still pretending to be the boy and tells everyone how her heart was stolen. Gua starts describing the leader to see if she's the person the boy claims. The boy confirms it, and Gua informs everyone that the one who kidnapped Wang is the dark gang's leader. Yang instructs Bai to locate Wang, and she reports that his spiritual signal is very weak. At this point, the guards hold Sun and tie her up, saying, I'm sending the safety team now because we need to ensure Miss Sun's safety. That's our top priority, and I hope you all understand. Guo agrees, Sun is still the target of the dark gang, so we must be careful. The director, sure, then says, there's still a problem. Since the Faction 60 team is missing members, they can't participate in the competition. At that moment, Sun breaks free from the guards, declaring, we are the Flowers Fraternity, and she tells them she doesn't care about the competition, only about saving Wang. Her team becomes motivated, drawing their swords. The head guard is very proud of her for growing brave and making decisions on her own. Sun and her guards set off to rescue Wang. Shi tells Tang and his team to watch them closely in the real battle to observe their true performance and not intervene unless absolutely necessary. The old man is still on the roof, listening to music and dancing. The boy calls out to Wang, saying, I know you're hiding your true power. The boy is shocked when he realizes Wang is fast asleep, completely unaware of the situation. The sword tries to wake Wang, and Wang finally wakes up. The old man's song finishes, and he approaches them, saying, it's time to continue our work. The boy starts screaming for help. The old man hits the boy with so much force that it knocks him through the floor to the level below. At the same time, Sun figures out where Wang is and, with her guards, gets closer to his location. She sees the old man lifting Wang high up. The team rushes in quickly. The leader, still disguised, is chasing them and is right behind Sunday. The Faction 59 team is watching the Faction 60 team. Bai warns Tang to be cautious of the strange behavior of the dangerous boy. Tang and his team take off, telling Bai to observe from behind. The old man attacks the guard team, taking down many of them before they reach him. They attempt to strike him but miss. The old man unleashes his golden berry attack, annihilating them with his overwhelming force. Meanwhile, in the naval command room, Wang's father is still standing outside the school, prevented by security from entering. The old man prepares another devastating attack, known as the Yellow Palace's treasure. The teachers are puzzled, not understanding what the old man is doing. We see an army of knights emerging from the old man's magic, charging toward them. The chubby teacher instructs the students and everyone to escape quickly. Sun attempts to counter the old man's attack, and we find out that her strike successfully nullifies the old man's assault with ease. A fierce battle between Sun and the old man ensues. Suddenly, time rewinds back to the moment just before the old man strikes the boy. The same thing happens again. The old man hits the boy, sending him through the floor. This time, however, when the old man looks at Wang, Wang smiles at him, and the old man is terrified. Sun and her guards rush once again to reach Wang, but this time they find the old man tied up, lifted into the air by Gua, who tells them that the driver has been defeated and there's no more danger. Everyone is astonished. Reporters arrive and hold a press conference with Gua, who says he saved the hostages. The leader, still disguised as the dangerous boy, is furious because she couldn't eliminate Sun. At this point, Yang arrives and places his hand on the boy's shoulder, asking, "Why do you look so upset?" Meanwhile, the magical officer asks Wang about the hole in the roof, saying, "Did this happen during the battle?" Wang replies, "No, it was there when we arrived. The dangerous boy has disappeared completely." The magical sword hid the boy and tells Wang, "Don't you want them to rescue him?" Wang replies, "Just stay near him and watch him. Don't let him escape." The sword agrees but asks, "What about the competition?" Wang reassures him, "Don't worry, the competition is already over." Wang then goes down to his friends, who are very happy for him. The next day, the competition begins, and Wang watches the boy closely. The leader is surprised that Wang hasn't exposed her disguise yet, thinking he's just a beginner. The announcer explains the competition rules to the students, and the event is opened. Reporters document the event. As usual, we find that Wang, who had been avoiding participating, is now eager to compete. The competition begins, and each team is assigned to their respective locations by the magical stone. Meanwhile, Wang's father rushes to reach him and apply the talisman, but it's already too late. Instructor Ban approaches Wang's father and asks, "What are you doing here?" Guo warmly greets Wang's father, and Instructor Ban is surprised to see they know each other. Wang's father takes Guo aside and explains the talisman situation, stressing the urgency of changing it. Guo becomes very anxious. The competition begins, and Team Faction 59 arrives at the battlefield. The team starts searching for the dangerous boy, but Bai says his power has completely changed from what's recorded, so they can't pinpoint his location. Yang tells his team they should be cautious of encountering the dangerous boy, just like they would be with enemies. Meanwhile, Team Faction 60 also arrives at the battlefield, but each member is in a different spot. Qin is near the metal pillar, Sun is by the water pillar, and the dog is near the fire pillar. At this point, it's revealed that the dangerous boy is also near the fire pillar. The team asks about Wang's location, and Bai responds that Wang's spiritual energy is 0, so he's completely off the radar, and they won't know his location unless they encounter him. Yang deduces that Wang must be in the south, the only remaining place. A boy from the team speeds off toward Wang, saying, "Leave him to me, I'll take him down, and the wooden pillar will be ours." At this moment, the chubby boy from Yang's team asks about Guo, but Bai doesn't respond. Yang tells him, "Don't rush. We'll meet him eventually," and they keep moving, unaware that Guo is already hiding behind a large rock nearby. Suddenly, Yang strikes Guo with his sword, finishing him off, and laughs, ordering Bai to handle Qin at the metal pillar while he heads toward Sun at the water pillar. We then learn that Guo escaped from Yang and is still alive, not out of the competition. He's observing the wild boy who's speeding toward Wang at the wooden pillar, saying to himself that the Faction 59 students are so strong that he lost one of his 3 spirits, which he's been using since the beginning of the game. Suddenly, we find that Team Faction 59 has already captured a pillar. Qin gets excited and rushes toward the metal pillar, but he's unexpectedly struck in the face for no apparent reason. Afterward, he arrives at the pillar and asks, "How do we capture this?" Bai replies, "Just place your sword on the pillar, and after 10 seconds you'll control it." Qin thanks her and understands the situation. Then, Bai tells him, "What are you doing, Qin? This pillar is mine. Can you move away?" He responds, "Look, there's a saying in my family, men don't fight women. I'll let you attack me 3 times. Let's go, quickly." Suddenly, she says, "Your turn is over," and Qin is confused, asking, "Are you underestimating me?" He's shocked to realize she's woven a magical spider web around him, allowing her to control his body effortlessly. He starts hitting himself with great force, unable to understand what's happening, and asks, "When did you pull off this dirty trick?" He keeps hitting himself. Meanwhile, at the fire pillar, the dog attacks the dangerous boy, but the boy dodges and prepares a strong attack, which has no effect on the dog, who then hides to rest. At the same time, the wild boy from Faction 59 reaches Wang at the wooden pillar and is shocked to find Wang lying on the ground as if dead. The boy heads toward the pillar to capture it first. Wang hears the dog's voice at that moment and starts thinking of an evil plan to break the seal on him. Wang wakes up, gets off the ground, and the wild boy notices him, saying, "Oh, you're still alive? Great." The boy charges at him, but Guo suddenly uses his word magic to attack. However, the boy blocks Guo's attack, and Guo thinks to himself, "Good, I arrived just in time." The wild boy tells Guo and Wang, "Fools will always be fools," and then attacks them fiercely. A fierce battle ensues between Guo and the boy, while Wang does nothing. Meanwhile, Sun places her sword on the water pillar, and the countdown to capture it begins. She thinks she must take control quickly, then rush to Wang in case he's in trouble. Suddenly, Yang arrives and attacks her, but she easily dodges it. Sun's sword then transforms into spiritual energy in the form of a girl, while Yang's sword also transforms into spiritual energy in the form of a warrior. Sun tells Yang, "You haven't changed at all. You'll always be deceitful." He replies, "And you haven't changed either, still skilled as ever. Isn't this a meeting between old friends?" Sun rebuffs him, saying, "You're not my friend at all." He responds, "Fine, easy, let's settle this. But remember, your family and mine have had excellent relations for thousands of years, and such a long-standing bond won't break easily." Sun angrily shouts, "Shut up," and launches a powerful attack at him, but Yang dodges it. A fierce battle between their spiritual swords begins. Yang taunts her, "If you want me to shut up, you'll have to defeat me." At this moment, Sun realizes that Faction 59 has captured 3 pillars. We learn that the dangerous boy has captured the fire pillar, and Yang tells the boy, "Come to the water pillar. Someone wants to meet you." The boy agrees. Sun is surprised that Yang's team knows the locations of all her teammates. Yang reminds her, "You've forgotten about Bai, haven't you? She can track all your team's movements." Sun realizes she needs to capture the water pillar quickly. Yang smirks and says, "I know what you're thinking. That's why you need to act fast. We'll capture the last pillar soon." Suddenly, Sun hears Qin in pain, as Bai has defeated him. He's passed out from hitting himself, and Bai has captured the metal pillar. Sun becomes furious, reverts her sword to its normal form, and prepares to launch a powerful attack on Yang. She strikes with great force, but Yang begins using his falling snow techniques, freezing all the water and turning the entire area into ice. Sun attacks with all her strength, but Yang's spiritual sword blocks all her attempts. At that moment, the dangerous boy arrives at the battlefield and suddenly attacks Sun, but she barely blocks it. Sensing danger, Sun doesn't know what to do. The dangerous boy taunts her, "We meet again, Miss Sunday." She thinks of using her water technique but realizes she can't because Yang has already frozen the entire river. Suddenly, there's a huge disturbance in the river, and no one understands what's happening. Sun takes advantage of the situation, as the ice on the river breaks, and she manages to hide from them. Yang tells the dangerous boy, "She must be hiding. You look for her, and I'll take control of the pillar." Yang adds, "I don't care who you are, but you have to follow my orders, and I'll help you achieve whatever you want in the end." The dangerous boy laughs and walks away. Yang places his sword on the pillar, and the countdown begins. He successfully captures it, but he's shocked to find that they've lost one of the pillars they were controlling, which Faction 60 has taken over. Sun is running underwater and overhears Gua saying that the dog and Wang have teamed up, and Wang has become incredibly powerful and brilliant. Sun is astonished, thinking she needs to reach Wang quickly. Everyone is surprised that Wang has captured the wooden pillar through his fusion with the dog toad. And we go back in time to Gua's fight with the wild boy. Gua keeps using the word cannon from his mouth on the boy, and the boy starts getting tired of the verbal attacks. At the same time, Gua runs out of most of his words and doesn't know what to do next. The boy laughs at this moment and says, "What? You've run out of your dictionary, haven't you, fat and disgusting? Shoot as many words as you want at me. In the end, I'll still defeat you." Gua becomes anxious and doesn't know what to do next. At that moment, the dog arrives at the place they are in, and he is shocked to see Wang sitting in front of him. He wonders how Wang got there. The wild boy passes by Wang and says, "Stay seated, trash. I'll deal with you soon." He gets angry at Wang and kicks him, causing Wang to throw himself to the ground and act like he's injured. This enrages Gua because the boy kicked Wang, so he attacks the boy again with the word cannon with even more power. The boy is surprised because the power of the words has become stronger than usual. Meanwhile, Wang remembers how he dealt with Qin and the friends with indifference when they were happy to have saved him from the leader. At that moment, Wang's energy explodes from the amulet, and the dog rushes to save the situation before Wang destroys the world with his power. The dog tries to devour the energy coming from Wang, and the wild boy is puzzled, saying, "Why is that dog biting his own companion?" At that moment, Wang uses his power to merge with the dog, and the dog turns into a helmet for Wang that controls his raging energy. Everyone is amazed at what's happening and how they merged like that. Gua asks Wang, "Tell me, what's this trick called? Man in the form of a dog?" The boy points his sword at Wang, but Wang approaches him, touches the sword with just his finger, and completely destroys it. The boy is shocked and can't believe what's happening. Wang walks past him and says, "Excuse me, let me pass," and places his hand on the boy's shoulder. The boy feels like a car just hit him from the left side, and he's sent flying into the sky, disappearing among the stars. Gua is overjoyed and says to Wang, "Let's just take control of this structure first." Everyone is astonished at Wang's control over the wooden structure and his merging with the dog, which brought forth such immense power. Director Shi is curious and asks the fat teacher, "Did you teach Wang this human-animal fusion?" He seizes the opportunity, bragging, "Of course." She pleads with him, "I want to learn it too." When the 59th faction team learns what happened, they are all shocked, especially Yang, who becomes very angry and can't believe it. He says, "Is this fusion really that powerful? Is he that strong?" She replies, "Yes, the spiritual fusion can be very strong." Yang says, "That kid deceived us all and hid his trick until the end. Where is he now?" She replies, "At the fire structure." Suddenly, there's an announcement that the 60th team has taken control of the fire structure as well, making them in possession of 2 structures. Yang becomes very angry and looks at the dangerous boy, who says, "Don't look at me, you told me to come here." Yang asks where is Qin? She replies, "He's right here, still unconscious. But the fat kid Gua is guarding the wooden structure. Unfortunately, I still haven't found her location." Yang angrily says, "She's hiding in her lake again." Bai tells Yang that Wang also took control of the fire structure and is heading toward her at great speed. Yang orders the dangerous boy to rush to the earth structure and defend it at all costs. He also orders the fat boy to run quickly and go to the fire structure to take control of it. The team moves at high speed, and Yang tells Bai to meet him at the wooden structure quickly. At that moment, Wang arrives at Qin's location, finding him unconscious, and quickly wakes him up. Qin wakes up, furious at Bai, but doesn't find her. Wang ignores him and takes control of the earth structure. When Qin finally regains his focus, he asks Wang, "What's that on your head?" Wang explains that he merged with the dog. Qin's jaw drops and he says, Okay, I get it now." The 60th team is shocked to find that the number of structures they control has decreased rapidly, leaving them with only 1. But then, the number of structures they control increases back to 3 after they take control of the metal structure. Qin excitedly asks Wang, "Tell me quickly, how did you do all that?" Wang smiles, happy that his friends are happy. Qin is thrilled that Wang is happy, and he smiles. Wang, however, doesn't even know why he's happy. It's the first time he's felt this way, and his father, watching him from the screen, is the only one who knows the reason. He tears up with joy. Wang and his team are suddenly surprised to find themselves controlling only 1 structure again, while the 59th faction is in control of 4. At this moment, Wang realizes Yang's plan. He unleashes even more power and considers taking control of all the structures before the 59th faction does. Even the teachers are surprised by what Wang intends to do. They say that even with his speed, he won't be able to beat the 10-second countdown needed to take control of a structure. At that moment, Sun calls out to Wang, but Qin answers, "What happened?" She tells them she's with Gua near the wooden structure. Qin calls Gua a coward, and Gua replies, "You're the coward." Yang and Bai appeared out of nowhere. What was I supposed to do? I had to run quickly. Sun yells at them to shut up, saying, Gua did the right thing. The goal of this competition isn't to defeat the opponent. The idea is to take control of the structures, so we need to avoid unnecessary fights. The dangerous boy stands bored by the earth structure, while Yang is at the wooden structure with Bai. At that moment, Bai tells Yang that she's found Sun's location, and Yang becomes excited, saying, "I still want to see all of Sun's tricks." Sun comes up with an excellent plan for her team, and they all agree to it. The plan depends on Qin stepping up and defending the wooden structure with all his might, no matter what happens. Qin gets excited because he'll be a key figure in this plan. They begin the plan, and Gua and Sun attack the fire structure, shocking Bai, who quickly informs Yang. Yang thinks about it and realizes that the fire structure is the farthest from them. He predicts that they will take the natural path and pass by the earth structure. At that moment, they take a shortcut through the lake, and Gua rushes in to attack the other fat boy, and a fierce fight ensues between them. At that moment, Yang tells the fat boy, "Gua and Sun are coming your way." The fat boy replies, "Only Gua is in front of me, and I'll finish him off." Gua keeps taunting the fat boy, saying, "I'm the one who took down your brother." This enrages the boy further, and he says, "So you're the one who hurt my brother." He loses focus. At that moment, Sun sneaks into the fiery cave to take control of the fire structure. Meanwhile, Wang takes control of the water structure and sits there. At that moment, Yang tells the fat boy, "If you lose the fire structure, I'll expel you from the student union. Do you understand? At that moment, the boy notices Sun, and Guo tries to provoke him even more, but he ignores Guo and rushes towards Sun quickly. At this moment, the leader in the form of the dangerous boy remembers what Yang told her. He said it doesn't matter who she is, but what matters is that they follow his orders and win in the end. He also reminded her not to forget her role in this competition. And we go back in time to the first encounter between Sun and Yang, introduced through their families, where we learn that there's always been fierce competition between them. We return to the present, to the moment when Guo attacked the fat boy, but the boy falls to the ground on his own, delaying Sun's attack instead of stopping the fat boy. The fat boy laughs at Guo and says, "Thanks for the help, I'll finish the competition first, then I'll take revenge on you for my brother." Guo apologizes to Sun. Sun remembers her grandfather's words, telling her she must never lose, especially against the family that insulted her own for 14 years with their imprisonment. Sun tells Guo, "I'm fine," and then notices Yang has arrived and is now standing next to Guo. Yang yells at the fat boy, saying, "You idiot, why are you stalling like this? You're giving them the chance to take control of the structure." The fat boy rushes forward and attacks Sunday. Sun faces him, and Guo tries to help again, saying he won't mess up this time. He attempts to stop the fat boy with earth magic. But unfortunately, the boy passes through again and draws his magical sword. Sun has already placed her sword in the structure, and at the same time, she attacks him with the flying swords technique. Teacher and director sure watched the match from the screen. The director says that Sun is the best in Team 60, but she sees her trying to outsmart her way to victory. Unfortunately for Sun, she still has to place her sword by hand to start the countdown. At the moment when Sun distracts the boy, she runs quickly to touch her sword and place it by hand to start the countdown. Then the spirit of Yang's magical sword attacks her sword and destroys it completely. Sun is stunned and steps back quickly. Yang tries to provoke her, saying, "You have no hope of winning at all. Team 60 has fallen into Team 59's trap." At that point, the dangerous boy says it's time for him to move from the stone structure to the metal one. Part of Team 59's plan is to always leave the earth structure empty as bait. Meanwhile, Bai is also watching Wang, laying traps all around to ensure he gets hit as soon as he moves. At this point, Yang explains the plan to Sun and Guo. Guo is shocked, saying, "So we've already lost?" At that moment, the dangerous boy is with Qin, but Qin dodges all his attacks. The dangerous boy gets frustrated, saying, "Are you just going to keep running like a rat? Do you even consider yourself a man, or are you a coward who runs from everything?" Qin remembers his father training him, telling him, "You're a coward, and no one in our family is a coward. You're bringing shame to us." Qin cries, saying to his father, "I don't want to train anymore. I don't want to be a kung fu master. I don't want to know anything about fighting anymore." We return to the present as Qin continues to dodge the dangerous boy's attacks, thinking to himself that brute strength isn't the solution to everything. The dangerous boy grows more furious with Qin, ready to finish him off once and for all. Meanwhile, all the teachers are amazed at Qin's incredible endurance. At this moment, Guo realizes that the dangerous boy isn't using his full power. The dangerous boy then notices the sharpness of the leaves around them, realizing why it's called the metal structure. He uses the environment to his advantage, launching a powerful attack on Qin. At that moment, Qin's father is sharpening his weapon, recalling when he attacked Qin fiercely, but Qin's strong magical power suddenly emerged, blocking the attack effortlessly from the ground. We return to Qin as he blocks the dangerous boy's attack with his sword, saying, "You won't take over the structure's stone so easily." The sharp leaves continue to cut Qin. Yang wonders why the dangerous boy is taking so long to finish off a student still in the foundation stage. Sun tells Guo, "Get out of here, quickly." Guo is shocked but says, "Okay," and rushes off. Yang underestimates Sun's strength in that moment, but Sun tells him, "Don't worry, I'll finish you off quickly." Yang laughs arrogantly, saying, "After all these years, you haven't changed at all." They both remember when Sun was young, sitting and crying as her mother comforted her, saying, "It's okay, next time you'll succeed." We learn that Sun was crying because Yang had beaten her in the mysterious equation. Yang told her, "Even the senior students couldn't solve it, but you're a failure anyway." We return to the present as he repeats the same phrase, calling her a failure, and the fierce battle between the two begins. We cut to Bai as she watches Wang, puzzled as to why he hasn't moved yet. Meanwhile, the dangerous boy closes in on Qin, who is exhausted from resisting for so long. The boy passes him, heading toward the structure to take control, but Qin grabs his hand. The boy becomes furious, deciding to finish Qin off. The teachers and Wang's father watch what's happening,